Toronto. Hello, folks. Doing a little mic check here. Hemda will say something.
Felicity Huffman and Lori Laughlin.
Not nice. Lori Laughlin, the boyfriend of Jussie on Full House, apparently is paying colleges to let their kids get some kind of advantage, and it's not looking good.
That's so new. In things like Yale?
Andrea, what do we think of this?
Shitbirds be shitbirds.
Shitbirds be shitting.
I mean, people with money get honorary degrees, right?
Yeah,
Who gives a
or
shit?
celebrities. Yeah. But yes, people with money. Money, 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 money.
Not nice. Lori Laughlin, the boyfriend of Jussie on Full House. Girlfriend. Apparently is paying colleges to let their kids get some kind of advantage, and it's not looking good.
That's so new. In things like Yale?
Andrea, what do we think of this?
Shitbirds be shitbirds.
Shitbirds be shitting.
I mean, people with money get honorary degrees, right?
Yeah.
Who gives a
Or
shit?
celebrities. Yeah.
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Hemda.
Here she is, producer of Keith and the Girl and the host of the Hot Mess Comedy Hour, Andrea Allan.
Back to you, Joanne.
I can't believe it. Everybody, hello. Hello. Andrea's your favorite. She's my favorite. What a day. We, of course, record from the great New York City, but I read some news that New York is no longer the favorite place of millionaires.
Okay.
Good, leave.
Right? Millionaires are like, wait, I can do things.
New York City has lost its title as the most popular city in the world for the rich.
When are they polling these rich people?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing as they're smoking cigars? Hey, are you into this anymore?
Top cities in the world for rich people. In 2018, New York was number one, London, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and then Chicago. Now, London is number one,
Wow.
followed by New York, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Los Angeles.
I'm into that. I don't want to
Yeah.
be the best.
London's so fucking expensive. It's crazy.
More than here?
Yes. Way more than here. And it's less fun than here.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
no offense. London was great when we went to see it, but there's so much variety here. What is better? I'm not saying what is better. I'm just saying, like, what experiences can you have in these other cities
Yeah.
that are just... it sounds weird. Like, what could you possibly be doing?
Fucking New York. What the fuck do you know?
But the way I see it, other cities are like, let's call it 20 blocks long. And
Yeah.
ours, you know, you cross the street, you're in an entirely different neighborhood. I know that happens in other places, but it's more like 2 blocks of Chinatown and 2 blocks of like,
Yeah.
you know, this is entire neighborhoods and filthy places and posh places.
Well, let me tell you something. I've been to London.
I'm such a snob about New York. It's disgusting.
Well, that Piccadilly Circus isn't even a circus. When you're in New York City and you go to the circus, it's a circus.
Yeah.
That's just a place.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah.
the changing of the guards here is probably like at some gay club. Like, it's not, it's, I don't know. We went to see the changing of, did we tell you this? We
Yeah.
went to see the changing of the guards when we went. And I don't know what we were expecting. They're changing guards.
Right.
But Keith and I were like the most American disgusting. We were like,
I'm sure you were.
We can't see. Everyone's in our way. Could we sit on that building? So we sat on some fucking wall like Humpty Dumpty.
Is there food here?
Yeah, where's the hot dogs?
You know that Americans wear Canadian flags on their backpacks so that the locals are nicer to them because everyone hates Americans abroad.
No joke. When I was in the Bahamas, this was 20 years ago or something like this. They were every time we said we were from New York. I'm not kidding. The locals' faces would change and they just would hate us. We did start saying we were from Canada.
Yeah.
It just wasn't
and then
worth
you laugh
it.
at Canadians for being so nice.
For sure.
Everyone's mocking us. It's
For
coming
sure.
up Canada this year, baby.
Actually, I don't know why Canada's not in there.
I mean, I would imagine Vancouver is probably pretty high up on the list.
Montreal?
Yeah, but in terms of wealth.
Wealth.
Yeah. Also, like, these billionaires own a lot of the real estate in New York City. So a lot of them buy real estate to put their money somewhere, but a lot of them don't live here. And they're trying to put out laws to prevent them from doing that because basically they are like they're owning half of New York City, but not actually living here.
To come up with a ranking, this company polled 600 private wealth bankers and crunched the numbers on several different factors, including net worth, investments, and lifestyle.
That sounds like you're crunching numbers and not actually asking them, do you like being here? You know what I mean?
No one talks to billionaires. How do you feel?
I don't know. Like, do you call them up?
Have you ever talked to a millionaire before?
I dated this trust fund kid for 2 months. The first month was so much fun, and the second month I wanted to kill him. But the first month, he kept expecting me to use him for his money. That's what was really weird about it. And
he's right.
He was obviously disappointed. I'm not kidding. He was disappointed that I wouldn't use him, like literally use him. He's like, "Why do you even take out your wallet when we go to eat?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. Because I'm a human being, and I had like 3 jobs at the time, and he's just like coasting. And I don't want to talk about money, but he kept bringing it up. And he's like, "Oh, I'll take you out to whatever place." I go, then just, in my head, I'm like, then just fucking do it. Why do you keep having to say, I will? Like, just do it.
Well, when you have that much money, money's like the way that you relate to people.
It was very odd. And like I said, I was working 3 jobs. I was working like a full-time job. I did the clowning still on the weekends. And I also taught Hebrew school at the time twice a week. And I just was like constantly getting up and going. And I was like, wow, it would be nice to go on vacation. Just throwing it out there. He goes, well, if you pick the spot and like pick everything, I'll pay for it. And I'm like, what? Is this romance?
To them, yeah. It's like if you have that much money, you have more money than you have time. So to show you that I feel affection for you, I'll just throw money at you.
But you're the one who has the time. So now I have to research where I can go relax.
He doesn't have the time, though.
He had so much time.
Actually, he's a trust fund kid. He's not like the actual rich person. But the actual rich person does not have the time.
No, that's fine. He was a trust fund kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't get up to do anything. You're like not in a rush to do anything. But in order for me to relax, you go do all the work and I'll pay for it. And what am I supposed to do? Come up with like a proposal? I've known you for a month.
Yeah. It's very weird to be around that.
It's very odd. And he really was like, what's your fucking problem with this? Not like an asshole about it, but just like so confused by how I wouldn't go with this.
Was the weirdest part he'd wrap 100 on his dick when he fucked you?
I fucking wish. At least fuck me. Jesus.
Did you guys have sex?
We tried.
Oh, yeah?
How so?
I don't know. He was intimidated. And this is the guy that like was like, "Oh, you dated black guys," and I'm like, just fucking okay.
How'd he bring that up?
That's how he brought it up. Because I was like, why are we like almost fucking so much?
Is he worried that he would then be like crossing swords with a black guy, or that your vagina is a tunnel now? Because
he had a smaller penis.
Oh, shocking!
Yeah. So he's
did you ask Reddit what to do? I'm just asking.
From a place of kindness.
Right. I'm just asking.
Namaste. Did you use his full name and ask Reddit what to do with his small penis?
She did not use his full name, and I thought she was nice. But
oh, she's definitely nice.
The woman that complained about the micro penis that she dated?
Yeah, I thought she was going to a community and talking about a micro penis because he was being shady. The fact that he's shady makes it okay that she responded that way.
I don't even want to start with this.
I know. But you started for the record.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this dude would not give it up. It was fun, though. We had sex like twice, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we started having sex twice.
What was fun? You didn't say anything fun.
Yeah.
Oh, he would know really cool spots in New York that actually were free. Like, he was very creative, so we got creative together. I think we like even wrote music one time. Certain parts of the park where like unicyclers meet and like hula hoopers.
This is the last time you dated.
Probably, right?
Yeah, right? She's like, I dated a guy one time, and I was like,
Maybe.
this is it.
That was the one
This
time.
is the one time.
Yeah, I'd be wary too, I suppose.
Yeah.
A trendy guy in his 20s wrote to the MIT Technology Review demanding it remove his photo from an online article claiming all hipsters look alike. He soon learned
that was a joke and you need to calm down.
He learned it wasn't even him.
Yes. They should replace it with him because of this.
It was the scruffy beard, the flannel, a beanie, but it wasn't him.
Do you remember, this is so funny because I actually remembered this the other day for some reason. There used to be a site called alllooksame.com.
Oh, I remember it. Yeah.
So fucked up. And it was just a bunch of Asians.
Yeah.
Just all looking the same. And there was a big debate of like, well, you know, if you're from any culture, if you put a bunch of yous together, you'll all look the same. And I just thought about it. And I think like, is that true? And it has to be, don't you think?
Do me and Keith look the same to you?
What?
Actually, you know what's weird is when you bring that up, I'm like, if you guys told me you were siblings, no joke, I would think that that was completely normal.
It's our fashion styles. I get it.
It's our height.
But there are people, there's somebody who, especially in this neighborhood, they come up to me and they're like, I know you. Like, no, I just look Greek. And some people have stared like, no, this is you.
I've been trying to get in and want these Greeks for so long.
You gotta look like this.
I know. What am I doing wrong?
They will insist that I'm that person. So there's a bunch of me's walking out there.
Why do you want to be friends with the Greeks? To sit outside for no reason?
Yes.
They love it,
To
right?
get the deals so you can give me the chocolate and be nice to me in the bodega.
That's their day. They're like, all right, I'll get the spinach pie and sit out on the street for hours.
Love it.
I love it.
I love it so hard. And my family does weird shit like that too. Like my father thinks he's like very refined and like, you know, very white collar, but he's just a dirtball. And I love that about him. We've always had like weird outings. And so he once sent me pictures. They travel with like a bunch of friends. They have like a mob of people. It's like a gang. They're super fun. They like to have fun. So they went to some park and I'm seeing like, they bought a little hibachi thing. It's on the ground. They're like like a tiny little, obviously a makeshift everything. And they seem like half homeless in the park, just having a ball.
Talking to chicks, talking about chicks.
I'm sure.
Looking at chicks.
On Netflix, there's a documentary about flat earthers called Behind the Curve.
Is that scary? I thought it seemed like propaganda, like, look, it's really real and people will believe it.
I was curious. I'm like, well, is this really a movement? You know, you'll hear a stupid sports guy, but they're stupid, player say something about flat Earth. I thought maybe there were a handful of people. And then I see there's a movie on it.
Yeah.
There's got to be more than a handful.
I think it's like vaccinations. Like I thought it would pass, and it was just what was it? Jenny McCarthy? Who was it? I thought it was just a silly thing that she said, and maybe like you said, a handful of people. Yeah. Now all of a sudden we're fighting against.
The kids rebelled by getting measles shots.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, and you know, then the people that, by the way, are into the flat Earth are anti-vaccination. Like the whole thing goes together.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like a certain level of fear and ill-informedness and like lack of control in your own life that I feel like if you're in this position, whatever the that's in front of you will get you.
I do blame the government for this though. They lie so goddamn much and they put so many rules on things just to kind of keep control that you would think this could happen. I know this is too far though. It's too far.
Pictures of the Earth from other planets. What are we doing here?
And of course they believe in all the other conspiracies. You know, one woman says she doesn't even believe planes went into the Twin Towers. Mm-hmm. Okay, so whether it happened or not,
it was a hologram made by the Jews. I'm like, you know what? Sure. Let's put all these. Then let's have them run to the end of the Earth. Then.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's part of it.
Then do it.
Well, according to them,
If it's flat, run to the end and fall off.
all of the governments have got together, and wherever the end of the earth is, you can't get there because it's a no-fly
Santa's
zone.
there. And that's why.
So they say.
Can we start killing people? There isn't enough room on this planet. And frankly, the resources are getting a bit scary.
You're not wrong.
It's time to kill.
But everything they say is kind of what I was joking about when I talked about flat earthers in one of my stand-up albums.
It's true. You kind of wrote the joke version of this movie.
Yeah, and I'll play it at the end of the show, but it is everything that they say. If I look outside, it looks flat. They say, yeah, science gives us math. Well, to me, I could just look and see. The
thing
earth
is
flat.
do they not know that science also looked and seed?
And then you take antibiotics because you believe you benefit from modern medicine, but you think scientists are lying to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you benefit from all the services that smart people give you, but you're like, the smarts are liars. You drive a car. How did we do that? With smart people.
Well, look at what all the countries agree on. In general, all countries agree that the earth is round, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't go by that.
You
'cause
can't
for a
go by
long
that
time,
because-
they all disagreed about weed. So it's
No,
You know
we
what I
are
mean?
not doing this.
Oh, God.
We're not
She somehow
shoehorning-
got it in there.
Shoehorning
How did
this
she
into
do
a
this?
weed argument.
Anyway, here's my point. Very good. And the point for you.
Weed is in a bag, which is round, typically. And if you look at the diagram, and it has leaves on it, which is like plants.
And they can see every side, can't they?
Oh, God, no.
So, the countries don't agree on what side of the road to drive on. They don't agree on the same God.
same-sex marriages.
But they, what?
They don't agree on same-sex marriages.
Right. But they all agree that the earth is round. When every country agrees in something. And what's interesting, too, about the flat earthers is 70% of these flat earthers believe that we're under a giant dome and we're being studied. The whole earth is being studied by the government. Now, where they're at, I'm not sure. Saturn, who knows? But we're all being studied. Picture a literal pole in the South Pole, and that holds the whole dome.
That's quite a beam.
Yeah.
That's not the beam that was in the towers.
And the sun and the earth are just up there hanging like a mobile.
If you're a flat earther, usually your face looks like a flat earth,
That's
too.
true.
You know what I mean? Very similar.
A couple frying pans hit it. It does always look like that. Well, what's interesting is it's all a simulation. It's all bullshit. But all these flat earthers in the movie had a big American flag outside their house. So they know it's all bullshit, but they still picked a side.
Yes.
Huh. That is weird.
Yeah.
Where is America then? And isn't America lying to you also?
Everybody's lying to us.
Yeah,
but
so
you
why
still-
America is okay.
But not
Right.
Santa and not Trump because
Right.
they're white.
So why is the government doing this?
Santa's for sure white.
They say it's because the government wants to give us vaccines and make transgendered people.
Oh, wow. We jumped ahead. Oh.
It's so great.
Wait, what?
With no further explanation. Like,
Oh.
why do they want to give us vaccines?
Why do they want to give us transgender?
No explanation. It's just that's what they're up to.
That's their current
So
confusion
trans
tactic.
people are aliens
Oh.
being created by the government.
With vaccination?
I watched the whole thing. There's no explanation to what's the end game.
Oh, that's why trans people like needles so hard.
Uh-huh.
The Flat Earth Conference that they show had
I
about
can't
They
believe
got
people
money
could fill
together
yeah.
to go to a conference.
1,000 people at this
It's a
conference,
lot of people.
paying between $150 and $250.
If
We know people with like Fallon credits who can't fill, a 200-seater.
Right.
But
if the government bombed this conference, would we be mad?
well, that's the thing. They would be right about conspiracies now.
But they're
You know what I
dead.
mean? But they're dead.
But they're-
yeah.
take 'em
It's
all
not
out.
all of them though. They left a couple behind.
It is what you say about how they look. It's funny when they show a guy, and right away you know if he's a scientist or a flat
Right,
earther.
right, right.
It's like, oh well, you're a scientist, obviously.
There's a guy in
Like,
a
he does-
shirt that is buttoned up.
Right.
And you're like, oh, this is on the smart side.
Yeah, and then the ill-fitting T-shirts are the dum-dums. It's very clear. God definitely gives you the clue. Adam Brown, my friend, said how we can prove it. You take the great Big Ben Roethlisberger, big monster of a man, can really throw a football. He stands on the ground, throws the football as hard as he can, And if it doesn't hit him in the back of the head, case fucking closed.
He's always been smart.
That's a good idea.
I don't want to believe in eugenics, but at a certain point,
Let's
isolate that clip.
the end of they try to like add a little. And I'm trying to move on.
I'm so sorry. But then I look at her face and she looks like Hitler used.
The end of the movie, they try to make it mean something. Like, you're obviously just laughing at these people.
Of course.
Oh, I thought it was, when I heard about it, I thought it was for truthers or whatever.
Right,
For
no.
flat earthers
Of
to
course not.
prove their point.
No.
Because they can get together and make some bullshit, you know?
And get Netflix to put it on? I doubt it. But anyway, it's not. So, but it ends with, let's not mock these people.
Let's understand
There's
them.
scientists waiting to happen. Right. We have to hear them out and not just laugh at them. Everybody wants to be heard. And I'm like, well, you really shoehorned that because the whole time when they talk, you had dopey music. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.
A tuba.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when you say like, yes, the government lies, I agree with you. Like we do need to question things. But when you look at the company that you're surrounded with in conspiracy fields, there's always something racist hidden under the surface. It's like you have to look at the group that you're with, and you're like, the optics on this ain't
I mean,
great.
I'm on your side.
I know,
course,
but
yeah.
it's a shame because we should be being thoughtful and questioning, but that this is not question. This is just them falling for
Yeah, it sucks.
fear
to
tactics.
Me, it's like, okay, so my mom and dad were a pain in my ass growing up, and they were wrong about a lot of things. They were wrong about the direction that they put me in and who I was supposed to be. But every once in a while, something happens where I'm like, fuck, they always told me this was like this.
Yeah.
And they're right. And that one time that they're right, it's like, was I being a dick to my parent? Blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
you don't
like,
want to give it to them. Quote,
Yeah,
unquote,
yeah.
There was a 12-year-old at this conference. Now, they didn't show the parents. I don't know if the parents were embarrassed, but the kid was there. That's too bad. Because it does matter a little bit, because this goes with anti-vaccination, goes with not believing in climate change, you know?
Yes, it's
How-
like dangerous. This stupidity and the amount that they're able to spread this information is dangerous. It's actively like fucking shit up for us.
They're so stupid that they're putting together a cruise to prove that the Earth is flat. But
Aren't they going to be nervous the whole time?
you die then.
Yeah.
I knew it.
They're the new Christopher Columbus, but on a cruise line.
Right.
Like too much of a buffet.
The government should set up a waterfall so that they go off of it and they all die and they get to be right
That's
in the
true.
last moments of their life.
Right.
And then their DNA is wiped off this planet.
Here's a little section I took from the TV.
What is it that you want them to take away?
What do you want people to learn at this conference?
Question everything. Don't
That's Hemda saying, right? Question
Question
everything.
Do your friends
What
have
is
that?
it that you want them to take away?
question everything. Don't assume anything when it comes to what you're told. If you're wrong about this, what else do you want to, revisit? Evolution? Big Bang?
What else are you wrong in?
Boy. So okay. He is fucking up my question everything.
Yes.
Question everything, meaning question what you're saying at the moment that you're saying it too.
Sure.
Question going to a conference that leans so hard one way and that you're not hearing any other part of it.
Right.
There's always going to be an opinion about black people in this room of flat earthers. There's it's a certainty, unfortunately.
Yeah, it goes with like a small mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear.
And also, yeah, it's fear-based, but it's also like I want to sound smart about something. So you kind of latch on to this.
Question everything, including science.
Yeah, like I'm not about to explain to you how I know the earth is round.
Science is the only thing that we can prove. We go, this is an experiment, and then I'm going to prove it using a control group.
Yeah, but also they don't even want to prove something. They just want to see how it goes. Like as a scientist, you don't try to prove
Yes,
that
you
you're...
do. That's science.
No, I mean, we're on the same side.
Hemda.
I mean, they are experimenting so that they find the truth. They're not trying to push it to one
As
way.
opposed to starting with the truth and making
Yeah.
things fit that.
Yeah. Like they're going, oh, is the earth round?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we can find about it. And then we're going to find the truth. Not the earth is round and we got to prove that it's round.
Yeah, they'll do some experiment with
They want to be wrong.
with like a beam of light, and if I start at this point, will it reach the same point miles away? And then, of course, the earth is curved, so it doesn't reach the same point. And they're like, oh, that's not good. Instead of going, let's think about it. And then they, of course, ignore that little study they just did.
Yikes.
Well, what do? You see your dad on there?
Yeah. I'm anti-gravity, so
Just my tits.
I've been taping my feet and walking on the ceiling.
They hate Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's their archenemy.
Oh, I guess when all those sex assault
That doesn't
allegations
bother
came
them.
out. They're into that.
They're upset about that. It doesn't bother them. They're upset that he publicly says that they're stupid.
Good. We should be able to say something is stupid if it's actually stupid and harmful. I'm not saying we should be making fun. We should be punching down at people who are handicapped. But if someone is actively spreading stupid rhetoric, we should be able to say that is stupid.
Yeah, I disagree with the movie. And again, I think they just shoehorned this point, so that you don't feel like a piece of shit just laughing at these people. But there's some things you don't entertain. And these scientists saying, you know what, we should listen to them, try to meet in the middle. I get, first of all, you're not doing that. No scientist is doing that. Let's hear your point of view about the flat. No scientist is doing that. And no, don't entertain that stupidity. Well, I have a point of why the white race is superior. Can you hear me out? No, I can't hear you out. Some people don't need heard out.
But I'm sure Neil deGrasse Tyson has videos out there explaining it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what?
No, that's it. Scientists are being forced to re-explain this.
Scientists are being humiliated in our modern society, and it's horrible. They're like screaming at us that our planet is going to die in 10 years, and we're all like, well, let's have a conversation. No, it's over. It's over. Run off the end of your flat earth, and we're going to try to save ourselves because the ice caps are melting. The time for everyone's opinion and kumbaya is done.
Do you think they would take scientists more seriously if they didn't wear those dopey bow ties? That is the dumbest look, and I don't know what that's about.
What if the scientists were the Kardashians and they did sex tapes? Would we treat them like our most cherished members of society?
Maybe we need to like their outfits.
I don't care. Put a pair of tits on a scientist if that is going to mean you're going to take anything they say seriously.
A Tennessee man was jailed on felony charges after dipping his testicles into a container of salsa that a customer ordered, saying this is what you get when you give 89-cent tip on an almost 30-minute drive. So he's on camera.
Where is he? How does he know what he got tipped?
Maybe when you tip ahead of time on a seamless or something like that, and but who knows? Maybe maybe it rounded up. Maybe he was going to give cash in person. Maybe he's dealt with this guy and he's a bad tipper. Who knows? But he shows. You don't see the balls go in, but you see
the dip.
You see the dip.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Well, that's what he's doing.
Wait, but then you got salsa on your balls. You know what I mean?
He
every
has
time
worse.
every time I want to do something, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm tasting your balls. Maybe I don't know. Whatever.
I'm not gonna know
somebody's balls all the time. But you dipped your balls in there, and then you have to wash off. You probably didn't take off your underwear and pants. So now you got water in your pants and underwear, and you didn't use soap because how are you doing that in the sink? So you got salsa. There's vinegar in that. That gets near your hole. Pick something else.
31 years old, this guy.
He also is a flat earther. I don't know.
He's probably not on the right side. Anyway, he tainted the food. Thank you.
That I respect.
I would respect if he was teabagging the tea. That'd be fun.
I mean, you got to handle the heat if you're going to do that. So you got to really mean it.
Salsa, tea, I don't know.
Like when you're in he was in the car with somebody. Somebody was taking the video as he did it.
Classy.
This delivery is a 2-person operation.
For $1.
How is the other person not thinking, no, exactly, you have salsa on your balls now. Not like good, you got them.
Yeah, because Keith, if you were in the car with this guy, you'd convince him not to let you videotape him putting his balls in his salsa. You would encourage it and add chocolate sauce.
So what, though? I wouldn't go, good job, we got him.
No.
I'd go, my coworker is a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Totally. But maybe you're working with other fucking morons.
What are people doing with their dicks? You know?
God gave you a dick and this is what you're doing.
If I had a dick, I would be dipping it in so many things.
Salsa?
For revenge.
All women think that, but you wouldn't.
I don't know.
I guess I do have a pussy, but you can't really dip a pussy. That's
yeah,
the
but
problem.
you can actually add juices to the salsa without touching it.
When you have a problem with your dick, what do you tell the doctor? Like, well, a month ago. I don't know if this is here nor there. but I was delivering bad tipper, blah, blah, blah. Could you catch something with it was spicy salsa, and
Yeah, how do you explain your salsa dick? This is how people end up in the emergency room with gerbils in their butt.
yeah,
I like how you agreed to that.
you're right. That's exactly how it starts.
Salsa. What did they order from this place? You couldn't dip your dick into anything else?
Only salsa.
I'm going to move to the moon. I'm going to start a GoFundMe.
How much
Moving
was
to
the
the
bill?
He didn't say the bill, but he said it was a 30-minute drive.
Okay. That sounds like his restaurant's wrong.
Also, right. Also on the seamless, sometimes they charge you a delivery fee.
Yeah.
So you don't know. Does that count as the tip?
Yeah, you got a tip on top of that. That's too bad.
Well, apparently now I know.
Just the tip. I'll be here all weeks.
Oh, maybe that's how he was being cute. But he didn't put the tip because he knows that's going to hurt.
A West Virginia woman has...
You think his balls had hair on it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This guy's not grooming. If you're the ball dipping salsa delivery guy, you're not taking care of yourself in life.
Do you fight for your job, or do you go, I get it. I can't do that?
I'm pretty sure you don't fight for anything but balls in the salsa.
Picture the meeting the next day with everybody else.
When you did you dump in the cookies at the Bible place?
No,
in the drawer.
I dumped in somebody's drawer at a place that I worked as security, yes.
Did you think you were going to get fired? Like when you were doing it, were you like,
I
I might get fired for this, worth it?
No, I didn't think I'd be caught at all.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
I'd be in jail.
I don't understand. You're putting your DNA in somebody's file cabinet, and I think you put a sampling in the freezer.
A lot of people don't dust for shit,
Yeah.
you know?
Can you imagine this woman comes into her office, okay? She pulls the file drawer open, and there's literal shit in there. But but how would it even get there, and who does she explain it to? What number do you dial when there's shit in your file cabinet? And this is before everything was backed up on a computer or a cloud. So those are her files. That's right. That's it. Those are her files. If she doesn't quit and get a severance.
She knew that she was a bad person. That's why she didn't even go, hey, security.
Just for the record, this was over Christmas cookies you didn't like.
She was bad in general, but the final straw was for the Christmas tip was those horrible cheap Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
The ones that taste like sawdust. And I said, hey, I don't like you too much.
Was it a well-rounded dump, or was it loose?
Oh, good question.
It was solid, but it was a nice log, but there was drippage.
A lot of new listeners probably don't know this story because it's very old. Yeah.
Did you hover over the file cabinet?
Yes.
That's a strong core.
Thank you.
Women have to do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I'm done.
I remember hearing that story as maybe I was probably 17.
I remember hearing that story as I was sleeping with him.
Yeah.
Wondering what my life choices brought me.
Look at yourself, come down.
That's why I have to be celibate. These are the kinds of choices that I make.
Actually,
I admired it though, to be honest.
I think I shat.
Adults do this.
I think I shat in the bathroom and then carried it over. That's what I think I did.
Oh, you shat? Did you shat in paper towel?
And then whatever I did, I picked it up and moved it with a paper towel.
Did it smell? Because shit outside of water is a whole other arena.
Oh yeah,
it's unbelievable how much worse it is.
Was that the end of your shift, or did you finish a shift?
I finished. There's a lot of floors. I don't have to stay right next to it.
Did you come back for your check after? Was that your last day?
No, I still worked there after that.
Oh.
Who got you the job? This is at a Bible
Jesus Christ himself got
place,
him.
right?
It was the American Bible Society. They have a store on the first floor, and then it's offices on all the other floors.
And you were the nighttime guard.
I think I just applied. I don't know how I probably found it in the paper.
Yeah, and there were no cameras. Did you check for cameras?
I knew there weren't cameras because I knew
because you were
about
the
cameras.
Right.
I bet there were after that.
Wow.
I bet they didn't trust that God was watching anymore.
That woman had 5 cameras on her own desk the next day.
Yeah. That is very traumatic. I would still be talking about that in therapy.
Oh, you made this woman's life. This is the biggest thing that ever happened to her.
But that she will never tell anyone about.
Can
you imagine at what, the Christmas party with her Christmas shit cookies?
My drawer.
Can you imagine?
I bet she was nicer to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Look at your face like you're a vigilante.
I don't feel bad.
I
This
know.
person was really, really mean.
What
Yeah.
kind of mean? Because you're weird about really mean.
Not nice, mean.
Just not nice.
I mean, she didn't run over my dog. She
She
just
wasn't Mary the cunt, but
right.
Oh my god.
I can't believe you worked in offices. I can't.
No, he
imagine.
didn't. He shat in offices.
No, but yeah, I know. I can't believe that you lasted a day at any job ever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
it's madness.
What else? You pissed in someone's stuff once? You pee in anything?
Yeah, he
You,
did.
you have to
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
He shat on another couch.
Oh yeah.
What'd you jizz on? You jizzed in the ice cube tray.
Yeah.
Well, that was just fun. That was
That was
that
just
was
As
to
a young
her.
adult, I thought that was conflict resolution. I was like, this is how adults
Yeah, yeah.
They
take-
pee and shit on things.
Does
shit
he-
each other's shit.
You drank your own pee to see if it was filtered right.
Yeah.
The filtering system worked very well.
We have 3,000 episodes. You did a lot.
Yeah, you did do a lot. I'm surprised you didn't include your blood in anything.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
my-
You're not into that.
Why would I hurt me?
That's true.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
about
Yeah.
hurting you.
Yeah.
When did the idea to shit in her drawer come into your head?
Mm.
Divine intervention.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, I gotta take a shit. Oh, that person is an asshole.
Can't.
Shit for shit.
I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
But the thing is I have to think about my own brain because, of course, it's about me. And I'm like, I'm way into this.
I am too.
I am way into. I was clearly way into every shit dump you ever took, literally or otherwise, because I love fuck faces.
Yeah.
I love shitbirds. I love it.
Yeah,
What
you-
else are you doing? Let's do it.
You are a shitbird.
Yeah.
You can find the whole story. I think the show's called "Shit Doesn't Freeze."
Oh yeah. 'Cause it
Something like
didn't
that.
'Cause
freeze.
it did not. It didn't freeze in the shit that you put in the freezer. What was the point of the shit in the freezer?
I was gonna. That was
was
a separate. That was
experimental.
a separate science.
That was his
experiment.
flat Earth.
Okay.
And it doesn't freeze. That's the kicker. It was like a
Maybe there
12-hour
was-
shift and it didn't freeze.
Could be it was too much vodka in there.
Maybe.
So you put it in there at the beginning of the shift, and then at the end of the shift, you were like, "Let's test." A scientist.
Yeah, but I know I forgot something in the freezer. I don't know if it's the shit or urine or something, but I forgot something in the freezer.
Oh god.
So,
He's such a weirdo.
so that one I feel bad about.
Because nice people could have been
Right.
exposed to that.
Yeah,
But her,
not nice.
yeah.
You know, and then I think about like when I'm not with the shitbird, I turn into the shitbird.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like if you're gonna not be a shitbird, like okay, so on our first date, me and Hennessy were just like walking around the city. We walked into some hotel thing and no one was looking, so I went behind and like some counters. I took some of their cereal. Like
Wow.
I just messed with everything. I wanted to steal something, so I just
You enjoy mischief.
yeah. So
Yeah.
because he wasn't making it happen, I suddenly just did it.
He was really nice when you guys first started dating. Like weirdly nice.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
the fucking freak.
Yeah. Well, how the tables turned.
Yeah, I realize every once in a while I need shit to burn.
Yeah. No, I
Burn
get
it
that.
down.
I get that.
A West Virginia woman reported mistaking her husband for an intruder and fatally shot him. 4 a.m.
Whatever.
I always think it's deliberate.
Gives a shit already.
Yeah.
Shoot each other in the
Uh-huh.
face.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't
Come
know
to
what to
join
say.
our side.
It's 4 a.m.
Anarchy.
You didn't even check the
Your bed.
fucking side of the bed.
Yeah, that's Darwinism literally happening.
Yeah, you just know I don't give a shit if this person's here.
Right.
Let me grab the gun.
I know someone. There's a comedian in New York whose this happened with his parents. His mom shot the dad, thinking that he was an intruder.
And all of a sudden they're the greatest shot.
Right.
Yeah. Any other time they don't get a mark. Where'd she shoot him?
I don't know, but fatally, he
Oh.
died right away. And like this guy's telling me this, and I have to, your dad's dead, so I can't be like, bah! But I want to because that's hilarious.
Yeah, because the succession of things have to happen, right? You hear a noise. You don't even give a shit to go, hey, honey, you hear a noise? That's A.
Right.
Okay, then the noise is getting closer. You don't wake your partner up. You don't text him. You don't see if he's in the bathroom. You don't call the cops.
She's nervous about a roach, but she'll just take a gun and
Nothing.
shoot whatever
Yeah.
she sees. And then when you shoot your husband, you go, part of me fucking knew it. God damn it. Part of me. There was part of me that was like, I bet it's my
Yeah.
fucking husband.
And the other thing is it's so weird that all these intruders, they calmly come into the house and go directly in your bed.
Right.
What? What? To just, I'm sure some intruders do that because all they're looking to do is like rape and kill you. But I don't know. They're like calmly, and you don't go, who is it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot. I have a gun. None of these words came out.
I'm laughing at this person that I'm thinking about
Turn
every time.
on the light. You had a chance. You had a chance to get the gun, but you didn't turn on the light.
Well, you don't want to give away your position.
Oh, they don't know where you are at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Your position.
Well, I'm laughing at this woman, then I'm thinking about everything that I've done when I thought intruders were in my house. And it's always I'm on the ground with a paper towel roll.
You learn from the best.
Thinking that is what is going to fucking scare them.
And you have to be careful because they might bring out their paper towel roll.
Right.
It's true. I don't know. For some reason, I'm always like, that's a paper towel roll. Why is that the toughest thing I have in my room right now?
I know. I have nothing.
Yeah. But I usually, so when I think there's an intruder, which I do often,
Me too.
I freeze for a second.
Yeah.
I listen too intently, but now I can hear everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now I can hear the rats outside and the trains going and like all this stuff. Now I can't tell if it's in my house. Now, let's say I'm like, well, let's say it is in my house. Then what? Then I start.
Are you here to kill me?
Yeah. So it's true. I wouldn't call out. I wouldn't be like, where are you? But I don't live with anyone now.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't be like, honey, is that you? So first thing I do is look around to see if I can hit somebody with anything. And then that's as far as I've got.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the
Then
gun.
I just freeze and lay there and like, well, I guess I die.
Yeah. Yeah. I just kind of make
Make myself smaller.
Yeah. I make myself smaller and I start thinking this is what happens when I'm walking to the house and I start feeling really scared. I put the keys between my fingers, of course, and I start convincing myself it's okay to put them right in someone's neck. Just do the grossest thing.
Oh, what if you're wrong?
Just do the grossest thing. Yeah. What if I'm wrong? But you know what? If I'm wrong, I bet it won't go through their neck.
Sure.
What
Does
the
a
fuck
murder
is gonna
now?
happen?
What happened?
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
to put keys in someone's jugular.
Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
What do you say to your kid after you kill your husband? And can you ever correct your kid for anything ever?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Why,
think
why
you're
were you
s-
late to school? Don't kill me.
Well, I think too, like he views this person that I know this happened to. He views his mom. I think this broke his mom. Obviously, if I killed the love of my life by accident, it would break you.
Yeah.
So now your kid's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to like hope you're okay, and like you're no longer a parent. Really, we're kind of like on even ground.
I would
Yeah.
have to believe my parent did it deliberately, or I couldn't look at him.
Yeah.
I have to believe there's
it's,
something
like,
I don't know,
better.
and so you killed them. Yeah, otherwise nothing makes sense. You're the biggest dummy, and I can't see you for Christmas because you're so fucking stupid.
Are they sleeping in the same bed?
Take a guess what the shape they think the Earth is. You know? An Indiana man accidentally shot himself in the groin. He might get jail time because he didn't have a license to carry the gun.
Oh, he can't dip his balls in salsa.
Mark Jones, 46, was out for a morning stroll when a 9mm handgun, which was not in the holster, slipped out of his waistband.
Okay, this is also what I see, and I see it in movies, and I assume this is real life, but I'm not sure. But it seems like it. People just put the gun in
Yeah.
their pants, just in their pants.
It's crazy.
It must be okay because they put it like right above their ass. That must be the best place because that's where people put it a lot. But I don't trust I put my leg brace on and that falls down.
Right.
You know, I'm taking risks out here.
Yeah, and some of these guns, probably this 9mm, don't have safeties.
How do you not have a safety?
Some guns don't,
You're allowed.
I guess.
What does a safety do? You have to like cock it.
You when you have it, it's probably on the side of the gun, and when you click it, you can't fire.
Oh, so it can't shoot on its own. You have to press a button as you shoot.
You just take the safety off, click, and then from then on you can shoot.
Why wouldn't you have a safety on it?
Sometimes they don't because you're in a hurry. Your husband's coming home in the morning.
You got to dip your balls in some shit. Or spend $250 for a conference about how the earth is flat.
A Florida woman got so angry at her boyfriend snoring that she shot him.
Well, that's different.
Lori Morin, 47, a real Morin, and her beau had been drinking rum when they got into an argument over his snoring. She shot him in the armpit. He was hospitalized in stable condition. She's facing attempted slay rap. Attempted slay.
Slang on the dance floor.
SLAY.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I guess murder. Attempted murder. They call it slay.
That it's the worst though. She shot him where now she has to like serve him breakfast. It's very hard to cook with one hand. Yeah. I've been there where you can't raise like one of your arms because of surgery. You need help.
What percentage of people in North America are this stupid, do you think?
50.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 50. Yeah.
I think 60.
I will give you 60. Who else?
Yeah.
Who's up?
90.
Price is right. We know the answer's not 1. You won't win with that.
Yeah, so it's like what do we do? Laugh at you constantly?
I mean, what do you go you shoot your partner over snoring.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go to then you realize, "Oh, that was too much." Do you go to like group therapy? You're like, "I've learned it's never really about the snoring." Do you move on with your life? Do you live together when you're at a wedding and they go, "Who here's been together the longest?" Do you raise your hand proud?
Right.
How do we have a government if almost half our populations is does?
I don't know. I don't know if this is
And violent. That's the scary part. If you're out here being and talking about flat Earth and Santa being white or whatever it is you love doing.
Right.
But honestly, even if they were just fist fighting each other, they're fatally shooting each other.
And they're voting. That's also very scary.
Right. You have Sarah Huckabee Sanders just the other day refusing to answer if Democrats in general hate Jews.
What?
President said something stupid about the Democrats being racist against Jews, so a reporter is like, is the president saying that the Democrats hate Jews? Ask the Democrats. What are you doing?
So politics is now overcome with this stupidity. So now it's not like a valuable system for us to govern. I mean, it's like
it's 50% of everything, and you don't understand how stupid people can get some of these jobs, like a doctor. But I guarantee, if you're listening to this and you're a doctor, you know the dumb doctors. It's like, what? They just showed up every day, I guess.
Yeah.
There's also different doctors, and I was told this by a doctor, when you go to your doctor and you see the certificate on the wall that he's a doctor, do you know if he got D's? Because you still pass.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're still a doctor.
Yeah.
Just think of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then think of like, you don't have to be a doctor of the whole thing. You could just be a doctor of feet. So you had to master the feet with a D.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
You have a D in feet.
Yeah.
And you're better than me.
But you don't know that, right? You don't
Yeah.
know that your doctor got D's. You don't know that he was the worst student, but he just passed enough.
Yeah.
A California man was busted for trying to light a neighbor's house on fire.
Yes.
He told
I would love to watch. Oh, sorry. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry. I really like
Keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Are you one of the does, Hamda?
Every once in a while.
You just like that a guy was burning
I'm
a
sorry.
house down.
I'm so sorry.
Not aggressive at all.
No.
No.
He told the cops that he did it to kill a ghost.
Aw.
Kwong Pham, 38, of Stockton, doused the pad with diesel fuel and tried to set it ablaze. He's facing attempted slay and arson raps.
What's this new cute word
Yeah.
for trying to murder?
Right.
It's not
slayed.
It's not like the fun drag queen slay. It's like literally murdering
Right.
people.
Yeah, slay is usually what you do in bed.
Slay, bitch.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Do you have like a folder of dumb people stories that you pulled for this show
You should have
particularly?
seen him at the conference. First of all, we're in Florida. Guess who finds the New York Post wherever we go?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet you did at a 7-Eleven or some
That's
shit.
right.
He makes
That's
you drive
right.
him to a
That's
7-Eleven.
right.
Mhm.
Then,
I've traveled with Keith Malley.
yeah, then he comes back and he reports to you on it. He goes, "This was the last one. Got to get there earlier tomorrow."
So
then
he
he sits there like a wacko, tearing the newspaper apart.
You were on the pulse of the weird but true section of the New York Post.
I gotta know what's out
I think
there.
a celebrity meeting for you would be the person who writes the weird but true section. You're like, where do you get it from? Who are your sources?
I don't like his puns, but I am into his life, yes.
The best part
This
is
would be your dream job.
I would tell him, less animals and more shootings, please.
Yes.
when Keith realized that nothing mattered. Oh, it's a dream come true. He's like, yeah, I'm reading the New York Post. Try to laugh at me.
No.
No.
Did he get plastic bags?
Oh, I was just gonna say
Yeah.
they're all in plastic bags.
Sure.
Then you got plastic bags all over the room.
I like bags.
I like bags. Then there's a plastic bag with the stuff that's ripped out, and that's his notes for when we come back.
It's a filtration system.
Yeah, and then there's the bag. Okay, we're throwing this out. This part of the newspaper isn't good. And then there's a bag just in case you need something later for moving things to other places.
Bags are like holes, maybe. Maybe that's what it comes from. Like bags are the holes.
He refuses to get
transformable holes.
Keith, what about a backpack? You have both your hands, and then you have like sections.
I'm not pretentious.
No.
Interesting.
Every once in a while, when he has, because these are little shopping bags like that you get at the supermarket. Every once in a while, when he
seals choking on it in the ocean, and he has to have it.
It gets worse though when it's like we were off for too long and he like did some zhuzhing. He brings his bigger bag, which is a literal garbage bag that he carries his shit. You've seen this. He will carry it on the train like he's a homeless person. Then he's like looking at all the homeless people like they're so jealous of my bag.
Of my good bag.
They are. They look at me.
It's the good bag.
It's this nice shiny bag.
It looks new. It's
Right
not
from
like
the box.
he's
This is so crazy.
It looks ironed.
He's so happy.
And they're like, what is in that fucking
Where did
bag?
he get that?
Yeah, you can't make Keith feel bad about anything anymore in life.
No,
That's it.
I'm not trying
No,
to. I'm
no,
just
no one is,
fascinated
but-
by it.
I wear my Crocs. No, nobody stops me.
When you eventually go crazy, because it will happen.
We won't notice.
Yeah, it's going to be, he'll move out to the woods somewhere.
Oh, yeah, where all the porn is.
Yeah. He's going to have a shed.
Yes.
And it's going to be piles of weird but trues next to one another alphabetically.
And then the part of the newspaper that he doesn't use, that's what he uses for warmth for his fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he can't be uncomfortable, so he's definitely going to have Brooklyn and sheets and his sleep number bed.
He's got the
He's
bags.
not allowed to feel uncomfortable.
He's got the bags on his feet and hands. The bags are closed.
That's right.
Oh my God. You're a bag lady.
You
You're a
are.
male bag lady.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a bag lady. Look how happy he is just us talking about bags.
He's going to be talking to birds. What's the deal? Back to you, Joanne. He's going to be podcasting. You get
Does that
more-
make you?
Yeah.
Does that make you horny?
I love it.
He's going to have...
I love the sound of bags.
You have like ASMR
ASMR bag porn.
bags and newspaper ripping together.
I really want a documentary about Keith.
It's
and like
bizarre.
not much happens.
Your father abused you so bad that it's amazing that you're alive.
And he's so calm about it.
Well, what else are you gonna do?
Just
You know
be
what
a
I mean?
psycho.
As someone who's like kind of now debunking or understanding the what weird shit comes from being abused, because
Yeah.
I was definitely abused by my parents and my father more in an emotional way. You do all these weird things your whole life because that's how you cope, and you just know that to be normal. And then the minute you're like, oh, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
And then you step back and you're like, oh, yeah, dining in the darkness every night and having your head slammed into a candle because you wouldn't speak properly about poetry or
Hi,
politics
Andrea.
or whatever.
Are we discovering
It's not
things?
normal. It's not normal. But
That-
you don't know it's not normal until you're out in society, like...
Keith, did you
acting weird.
Did you learn anything about your childhood that changed recently?
What do you mean?
Like, are you now saying that you were abused? It's hard to say, right?
Because when people abuse you, they minimize it all the time,
And they take care of you at the same time.
exactly. So it's like and then there's always the like you didn't have it as hard as I did.
Yes, they're always telling you
mentality.
how great they are.
Yeah.
Did your
Yeah.
dad always tell you how great he is?
Yes.
And how anybody else would love to have a father like him?
Yes.
And how if you behaved, then you could appreciate how his standard of living would really help you, and
Yes.
the neighbor kids would be a
They
much
don't
better
have
person.
food.
Yeah.
I didn't have food.
Yeah.
Like there's this like threat that you have the amenities now, so you should just be lucky to have that because I grew up eating rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And
If I behaved, I would have had so many good things from him. He would have
Yes.
paid for college, even though that's impossible.
Yeah.
Everything good I missed out on.
And tell me the bad things that you did.
Say it again.
What are the bad things that you did?
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said if you would behave.
Right.
So you were criminalized,
Yes.
and he would pull you over like a cop and go, you did this, here's your punishment, you literally were just sitting around.
Yeah, that's
You weren't allowed out.
Right.
You weren't allowed to socialize. No one was allowed to come over. He picked up the phone, made everything weird. He picked up the phone when people called. He came to your school to just walk around like a creep.
He would stare in that window in the door.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
God, yeah.
For what?
He would also, but he would come to the school when you don't need to pick him up. When you did need them to pick you up, they would make you wait for hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Hours.
It's and then when you start to read books about like how abusers behave and you read the psychology behind it, it's like right there on the paper and you're like, what? But I thought I was such a unique situation, but you're not. And then you have to be like, oh shit.
And also it's hard to complain. How do you complain? He had a wonderful mother. He had food on the table every day. He had food at lunch that not everybody did.
Right, because that keeps you. They have to hide the way they're treating you to the outside world. So they need you not to. They need to say that you're whining or complaining, and that's a negative thing, so that you don't speak out about it, because then other people know what they're doing. You know, it's like grooming. They're like, this behavior is to protect.
Yeah, how does this feel to hear
these
it?
Secrets, you know.
I just want to carry a bag sometimes.
No, I'm not. Yeah, it's. But the thing
you are very well adjusted.
It's
though.
super common. That's the thing. Is like everyone feels like it's so taboo. It's super common. People abuse their kids all over the fucking place.
What made it easy for me is that there were 5 of us, so you could see it happening to other people.
And then you're like, oh, that's fucking weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and then comparing your stories later as an adult is helpful.
Yeah, it's not even like I'm not woe is me when I'm talking about this stuff. I'm just like, now I'm like an anthropologist looking back through everything and being like, oh, that was fucked up and that's fucked up and that's why I do this thing and that's fucked up. I'm not even like, I've been upset about it forever. Now I just understand it. I feel less upset about it knowing what it was and being like, oh, there's a cause and effect for why.
Yeah, it's much easier that way. What I realized is my mom, so I was trying so hard not to be like my mom. So she was always, forgiving of everything. She was, just anything he wanted her to be, all this stuff. So I'm thinking I'm raging against that machine. Turns out I'm in the same wheel, just a more like modern looking version of that. And then when I actually think about my mom, she is a lot like me. My dad is a shitbird. He will light shit on fire and she loves it. In fact, when you don't love shit on fire, she'll start calling you boring. Like I've heard her call people boring where I'm like, oh, they just like do the right thing. I've heard my dad call people like that boring, and then I realize I'm responding like that. Like if you haven't lit something on fire in your life, I'm like, what'd you do?
Yeah, I remember listening
Tell me the
back
stories.
to an interview we did, a Hot Mess Comedy Hour interview we did of you years back, and we said something. We're like, why are these people so fascinating to you? And you're like, it's fun. And
so
I was
fun.
like, whoa, there it is. Because that's what you're getting out of it, excitement. You're addicted to the excitement of these people.
I did. When I was hanging out in high school, I was the shit bird because I hung out with they didn't do drugs, they didn't do anything. So I started on the highway, getting out of my car, going into other people's car. Then some kind of shit bird thing has to happen around me. And I need to recognize that.
My dad would tell me every day, I'm your father, not your friend. And I remember thinking, there's probably more to that, right? Because that's something a simpleton would say and think that's the end. He calls me now. He's like, how's your life going? And I'm like, I only tell my friends. Click.
It's like not even, it's not even being mad at them. It's just like understanding their limitations and how their actions shaped you. And that's it. And then you can be like, okay, I choose not to engage with
That's why I think
your
Keith is
shitbird
okay.
behavior.
Yeah, I think Keith went, oh yeah, my
You
dad's
think Keith's
nuts.
okay?
I think he's okay now. Yeah, I think he was a little more loopy, but I think he's fine because he's separated from his dad. He said he doesn't care for getting love from his dad. You know how we keep trying to get it.
Yeah, you still go there though. You still go there and entertain their stuff. You know.
Yeah, but I think if it was just his dad, he wouldn't. His mom is cool, and his siblings are cool.
I am so curious who dies first. My mom or my dad.
Yeah, because your dad's been threatening it, and it's like fucking live up to something you said.
Yeah, threatening to die. I never threatened to die to any of my friends to get attention. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's been doing it when he was young too. You know,
My
ever
dad's-
since I was a kid.
He's been threatening to die since I've known. I mean, he has been dying as a prank and then coming back to life like fucking Christ. He's going to live forever. He's going to get a bionic body.
That seems
and
to be a
He's going to
thing.
haunt me from the grave. I think the crazier you are, the meanness keeps you alive.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your dad should have died like at least 3
7
times.
billion times.
Yeah.
He has 2
Your
organ
dad, too.
transplants.
My dad had a lot of heart attacks.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad had a couple heart attacks. He had cancer.
Yeah, so same.
Yeah.
Then I told my dad the doctor wants to know my family history, and he goes, "Why?" Okay, forget it.
Oh yeah, I can't even ask my parents my family history.
Yeah.
God forbid I know we have diabetes. Just don't eat a donut. All right, okay.
Don't
All right. Okay.
don't tell the doctor we have health problems. It's
Yeah.
none of his business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and clean the house before the maid comes.
Everything's about protecting things.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People who are fucked up always have to keep it protected, you know? And
Yeah.
but you know, but then also conversely, people who are constantly telling you how fucked up everything is, they're also fucked up. So it's like hard to know where the line is, but
Yeah, but you shouldn't be keeping other people's secrets.
Yeah.
Like don't tell other people that your father drinks. Why not?
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
why not? He's drinking.
Yeah.
Why am I don't get to talk about it. Don't tell them that we don't do this. It's like, then why are we doing it? If we're so ashamed of it, why are we doing it over? Why can't I tell anybody anything about my life?
Yeah.
Why are we so ashamed of everything? And then you tell me that I grew up in a perfect home and everybody would love being here.
Right.
Sure.
Then why can't I tell everybody about it?
Yeah. We told the story before, of course, about Jussie Smollet. He's the Empire actor.
Jossie?
Jussie. Even the name sounds fake.
Yeah.
He made up that he was robbed and beaten and a noose put around his neck when,
Bleach
of course,
on him.
Very racial.
yeah, it's MAGA country, F word, because he's gay.
He added a lot of details.
A lot of
It
details.
was like really bad writing.
Right. Well, he forgets.
Show don't tell.
He forgets he's an actor, not a writer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so he tells this stupid story that cops figure out right away. He's still denying it.
No.
I
And-
mean, why not? Do you want to admit that?
It's already
but they know
Yeah.
they have they know they have a check that he signed
Oh.
that he gave to these two guys to act like they beat him up out of nowhere.
But at what point, like, I'm Jussie or whatever his
Right.
name is. Ask me if I did it.
Did you?
No, man, I already answered this. I can't even. Ask me one more time.
Okay, but it
Okay,
really
you
looks.
know what? You're gonna think this is funny. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone's sitting. Okay.
Okay, I did it.
You know how like everyone does an April Fool's on April 1st? Follow me on this. We do it on a different day. Nobody goes, but it's April Fool's. You guys actually believe me. Ah.
He's 36 years old,
Oh, that's not good.
indicted on 16 felony counts.
They were mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were mad.
Disorderly conduct charges for filing a false police report and lying to cops.
And what were the other 14?
Right?
How did he not research the possibility of? I guess. I mean, how did he do any of this? But
One count is the F word. One count is the N word. One count is the rope. One count is the...
Actually, probably, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, you lied about the rope. You lied about what they said. That's a different count. You lied about how they did it. That's a different count.
yeah, well, you're making light of hate crimes by faking them. It makes people think that they don't happen because you're faking it. So it's
I
really
know.
it's
Part of me doesn't want him to do a lot of jail time, though.
I do.
I do.
You did so much
lot.
damage. You did
Yeah.
so much damage to like very right causes.
You got to do the way I say, and you go, hey, we found the two Nigerian guys. And you just find two Nigerian guys. And, of course, Jussie would have to go with it.
Yeah.
And then you go, all right, how do we punish these guys? And whatever Jussie says, that's how Jussie gets punished.
Are they being convicted of anything?
It sounds like they admitted it, so I think they're going to get off easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I do wish our system was better, like our jail system was better. So
More,
then-
there should be more tricks, like I'm
so then
saying,
you
right?
could say like 4 months of jail for this guy. I know that that's very little, but then you could say 4 months of jail for
Well,
this
yeah.
guy will make him just sit down. And I think 4 months is a lot.
Well, the prison system's fucked up,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
His
'Cause
career's
yeah.
career's done, right?
Yeah,
Everything's done though. You know?
he's mentally ill too.
Yeah, something's going on. Like you have a lot of attention and you needed this. What happened?
I think he thought that he was legitimizing these things.
Yeah.
But he's not smart enough to understand how damaging that is.
He was taking a shortcut for a cause.
Yeah.
Well, it does. Yeah, I don't even know about that because he was.
Or is it purely for attention?
It was for money. He's doing it so that he gets paid more on the show. Like, hey, being in the public eye, being black and gay, I'm getting a lot of death threats. I need more money, or I'm not going to do this anymore.
Oh, that's some bad negotiation.
So it's not necessarily,
like
to add light to hate crimes.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
It's also like I hear, I listen to Joe Rogan sometimes just to like see what is going on over there.
We were mentioned on his show too.
Yeah. And they were talking, there's this kind of rhetoric going around now that there's currency in being a victim in and I get so nervous when people talk about that because I'm like, yes, we are now listening to victims, which we should have been all along, but this guy makes people who legitimately are victims of this seem like they're seeking attention. Like it skews it in a way that's really damaging.
I think it's very dangerous to say there's currency in victimization because I think it seems like there is, but as you're doing that, you're creating yourself as a victim and saying that you're a victim of this.
Yeah.
So that's the irony of it is instead of just listening to something, you're making me a victim of your victim, and then we're going back and forth for who's the bigger victim in this. And you don't see the irony in saying, this is just, you're making me a victim of what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky to be like, these people want attention and they need to be silenced. Like and then someone comes out and does something so fucking obviously like that, and it's like, shit.
Yeah, but that's such a kooky case to turn to when it's like, oh, you're going far left, look at this guy. No, that's not the cause.
Yeah.
Separate that. As a smart person, which Joe Rogan is.
Yeah.
Separate that.
Yeah. Yeah. It worries me.
Yeah. I mean, that's like saying, I don't know, you're rich, you're also a thief. Like, I'm going too far with it, but it's too much associating like that.
Well, yeah. And I think it's like we're seeing a wave in the favor of traditionally marginalized groups like women, people of color, people in the LGBT community. Like they're getting more, we're pushing to put them in the forefront of the media now to compensate for literally white guys ruling the roost for the last.
And I don't even think we're giving it to them. I think they're pushing in, which is why it seems like they're being pushy. But I think you have to push in when you're the marginalized group.
I agree. So, but then by doing this, you're making these other people who are just trying to be a person. I don't have an agenda. I'm just trying to be in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we all are.
Yeah.
I just know you got to question everything.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah,
you got it.
Download the Hot Mess Comedy Hour. It's Andrea's show. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
On social media, they can find you at
Andrea Comedy on Twitter, and then if you really want to work for it, it's Andrea_Allan ALLAN 88 on Instagram. I'm coming to Chicago at the end of March, so I'll post that on the Instagram. Be sure to check it out.
So if you have trouble finding any of the guests or any of the information, you should always be following us because we always tag them on every platform directly to them. So that also helps them get back on the show, and it helps us grow.
See, if you
like
don't
a penis.
Okay, goodbye.
Sorry.
Take my ball.
Oh, no.